Hello, I'm Brian Cassidy, Student Services Librarian at Cleveland Marshall College of Law, and today we're going to talk about the Ohio Revised Code. So the first thing you'd probably want to know is what is the code and how is it organized? The Revised Code are the laws of the state of Ohio as passed by the legislature. Once they have been passed by the legislature, they are then codified, which means they are broken down into appropriate subjects, which are then organized by title and chapter in the code itself. So what you're seeing now on your screen is a screenshot from LawWriter, which is the state's free website where you can look up the code. One thing you'll want to know is that this version is unannotated, which means there's nothing additional besides the statutes itself. Versions on services like Westlaw and Lexis will have annotations which will contain cases talking about the statutes as well as secondary sources. But this gives you an idea of how the ORC is organized, starting with the titles, which are the subjects of the code. So we've already talked about where to find the ORC in LawWriter, but I do want to highlight that it is available also in Bloomberg Law, Westlaw Next, Lexis Advance, also on Hein Online, which we have access to. And I also don't want you to forget that it is in print, and the print version is located in the reference section of the law library. So for this talk, you have a task to find a section of the ORC dealing with farm equipment used in terrorist activities. And we're going to go through some steps on how to do that and then how to access the information that you've then found. So one of the best ways when you have such a problem, rather than just diving in and searching the code, is to use the index. Here we have a copy of print version of the index, and what we're going to do is, using our task, go through the index to find an appropriate code section. So the first thing I was thinking of was farms or farming. And I went to this part of the index, and as you'll see under farming here in the bottom left, it says agriculture generally, this index. So I need to look under agriculture, which I then did, and there was actually a section that dealt with terrorism, and as you see it says terrorism products or equipment, and it gives us the citation 901.511. So now we'll want to go look for that section, and you can find it in the print version or online. So you do want to be familiar with how to do both and the different electronic services that you can find sections of the ORC under. So I put the section up on our screen now that we found, just to give you a heads up, like what it'll look like at times in cited materials, and also if you were using the print version, the print version is broken down into titles. We also saw that in LawWriter. Well, how would I know what title this section that we found is under? Well, to find the title, it'll be the first and or the first and second numbers in the ORC citation. In our case, we don't have any titles of the ORC, I believe, up to 90, but there is a Title 9, which is agriculture, and that fits what we are looking for. So it requires a little bit of an extra step when you're using the print version, and that's why I wanted to have this as a separate slide to point that out to you. So now we have our citation, and I've got a screenshot here from Lexis Advance. And how do we find it? when we have the citation? Well, simply a matter of typing in ORC and then the number. You don't have to put in the section symbol. If you do, it'll take it as well, though, but it's a pretty forgiving system. So next, I do want to talk about, well, how do I just find the ORC itself in one of the electronic databases, because I want to use either an index electronically, or to search the code itself, or to just browse through the contents of the code. Westlaw Next does have the index available electronically, which we will show. So that's why I'm using this example. As you see from the screenshot, I've started typing in Ohio Revised Code, and we get a hit that pulls up a source that says Ohio Statutes and Court Rules, which is going to be what we need, although it doesn't say Ohio Revised Code. So be aware of that, but we knew from the beginning of this lecture that the Ohio Revised Code are the statutes, the laws as passed by the legislature. So once I click on Ohio Statutes and Court Rules, it'll bring up another page. And I have several things highlighted here for you. Up at the top, this would be the box you would use if you just want to run a search through the whole code. In our case here, I chose, or I typed in farm equipment and terrorism, and then we could hit search. Also, to the right of that, I want to point out that there is an advanced search feature, and I encourage you to go in there and take a look at what it looks like. If you wanted to just browse through the code from this point, you can click on any of the links through here. And then you'll have to keep clicking to drill down through the code. On the right-hand side on this page is the Ohio Statutes Index. So you could use that electronically, just like we did in the print version. So if you have further questions about Ohio Primary Law Research Guide, and of course the statutes are primary law, I've given the URL to our research guide, which is available for further help. And if you need even further help, you can contact us always at the number listed here or at our email address. Thank you very much, and happy searching.